ones that were sitting here.
I'll put.
So for some reason, sound is not working. I will fix and be back from the sunny coast. No problem. Let's keep admitting everybody here. Jenny, I might hand it over to you if you can just check as people are wanting to join, see if you can do it from your end.
Absolutely, Sonia.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we got 6:34. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Welcome to you all. Very excited to be here. So we're going to get straight into it because there is a bit that I want to present to you. Okay, so thank you for typing in the chat where you are from. It's really lovely to know where in Australia you are. And I would really like to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you joining this free masterclass tonight. And thank you for spending this time with me and Jenny. I'll introduce Jenny in a moment. And I hope to bring you an informative and practical session on holistic creative arts therapies and to explain what it is, how you can use it, and why it's beneficial. I would like to start with an introduction of myself so that you know who I am and a bit about me. So my name is Sonia. I am the founder of the College of Conscious Living, and I started my own path in holistic healing and holistic therapies back in 1998 when I chose a career in natural medicine. And at that time, after my studies, I became a qualified naturopath. I have worked in the holistic field for the last 23 years. In that time, I've also become a trained meditation teacher, a holistic counselor, a theta healer, a practitioner, and a creative arts therapy practitioner, and most recently, a neurooptimal trainer. You may or may not have heard of that, but it's where we use neurofeedback technology to help people reduce anxiety, feel calmer, and have better overall cognitive function. So I'm very passionate about mental health and helping to improve the lives of people who do suffer with anxiety and really any mental health condition and on the spectrum, be it mild or be it severe. And that's because I've experienced mental health issues of my own over the years, everything from a couple of severe panic attacks to having anxiety, being clinically depressed back in 2001. So there's been quite a journey for myself as well. And I do feel very fortunate that I'm...
Why would it not be working?
Just put yourself on mute, please. I do feel very fortunate that being in the holistic industry, I've had a lot of tools at my fingertips, but I really can understand and see that not everybody has the tools at their fingertips or so readily available. So this is why I'm very passionate about offering this. And if it's just, you're just here for the session to see how it goes, I welcome you. And if you want something more out of that, let's see what happens for you. So with this masterclass, my intention is that it will help you to understand the stress response. Just one moment, please. Just one moment, everybody. So, okay, thank you. Please keep yourself on mute. Sorry, let's get back into it. So the masterclass, I'm really hoping that it will help you to understand the stress response and how much stress really impacts us and our brain and how it can lead to disease states. And how is this part of creative arts therapy? Well, if you reflect on your own levels of stress, are you creative? Are you spontaneous? Are you fancy free? Generally, no. So stress is a massive part of creative arts therapy because we need to come out of the stress response and into the relaxation response. So that's the other thing that we're going to have a look at is the relaxation response and how super important it is to engage with this response on a daily basis if we can for healing, for nervous system support, and for brain function. And when we're in that relaxation zone, we can really open up and have more creativity, more spontaneity, get our artistic flair. And don't worry, if you feel like I'm not an artist, you don't have to be. Creativity of any kind, if you're someone who loves to get out into the garden, if you are someone who can draw, if you're someone who loves to write and journal, this is all being creative. So it's not literally just, masterpiece paintings. It's not about that. We will do a creative arts activity tonight. So on that, all you will need for tonight is 2 blank pieces of paper. It can just be, from your book. If you do have an art journal, grab it, and a pencil will do. If you do have color pencils or texters, grab a handful of them and have them ready. So when we do the activity, you can use them. That's all you will need for tonight. I do hope that this will give you many insights and understanding of how creativity can be used as an effective tool in mental health. And I do also offer a professional training course in creative arts therapy, which is run online and face-to-face. And at the very end of the presentation, I'm going to provide you with details on how you can sign up for the training with exclusive offers to those of you who are interested in the education, to those of you who are not. Just have a really wonderful time with the masterclass and the information that's being presented. What else can I tell you? I'd like to introduce Jenny to you. So Jenny has been with me. Where's Jenny? Wave, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Jenny has been with me since 2020.
Yeah, 2020, I did my education.
Yes. So Jenny is a graduate of the education that I actually offer. And then she has been alongside of me as an assistant teacher, and then moving on to being the facilitator and the assessor for the online students. So she is very well versed in creative arts therapies, what it is, what it isn't, and she uses it in her own life. And to be honest, she just flourished, and she's an outstanding graduate, and the things that she's done as a result is pretty impressive. And I'm very honored that Jenny is still by my side and part of this masterclass tonight. So Jenny, anything you'd love to say? We'd love to hear from you if you'd like.
Look, I think you covered most of it already. I am very passionate about HiCat and the education and the tools that I specifically learned, and now I can teach other people as well. As a mother, it's really changed the way I've parented my children. So that's been probably a really big impact of the course for me. So yeah, just learning the information. I went into it for a personal reasons when I first looked at HiCat, and now, it's a part of my everyday life. And Sonia's just an amazing person, and I love being a part of the college and supporting Sonia. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you,
Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. That's great. Okay, where are we now? Okay, so just briefly covering again. So for the duration of the presentation, please just keep yourselves on mute, which you are now doing. So thank you very much for that. If you do have any questions or comments along the way, just pop them in the chat. And Jenny will respond to you if she can. However, there will be a specific Q&A at the very end where I can answer all of your questions. And I am recording this session so that those who did sign up and couldn't make it, it will be available for 2 weeks. And we will email this out to everyone who signed up. So if you don't want your camera on, you can totally turn the camera off. It's not a big deal. And yeah, but if you want to stay on camera, I would love to be able to see you. Now, the next thing is, before we begin, I have a workbook for you. Now, it's 16 pages long, and I've designed it that you don't need it for tonight. It's a workbook for you to use after the class, and it will help you remember all the information from tonight. And it's also got activities in it that you can do at your own pace. So some more creative arts therapies for you when you, maybe next week, you want to sit down and read it. So I thought that would be a really lovely addition for tonight. Jenny, whenever you're ready, pop that in the chat. It is a PDF. We will try to upload it now and towards the end to try and make sure that everybody gets a copy of that. So just click on it from the comments and it should download to your device. And then that way you can save it, and then you can, there are links in there as well to an audio recording, to a movement meditation. So there's quite a lot of value in that for you. All right, we are going great for time.
It's just uploading. It's just uploading. So
thank you.
It should be available very soon.
Thank you so much. All right, well, we're going to get into it. I do have a PowerPoint presentation. It's easier for me visually. So I apologize if any technical glitches happen on your end. Technical stuff isn't my forte exactly. However, I've done my best to put something together so that I stay on track and that you have something visual to follow as well. And lastly, I really genuinely just want to say thank you so much for being here and spending this time. You could have been doing anything else on a Wednesday night, but you're here. And I again genuinely want to say that whatever it is that brought you here tonight, why you clicked the link, why you signed up, just trust that you will gain something for yourself. Something will come forward to you. You will see something, you will recognize something, you will resonate with something, maybe some clarity, whatever it is, you will get that for yourself. So let's get into it. Just before we start, is there any quick questions that I can did I cover everything okay? No, I've got thank you. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's see. I'm going to share my screen. We've just got more people joining. Okay. Thank you. You are very welcome. All right, let's see if this works. I'm going to share my screen with you. I think it's here. All right, perfect. All right, so this was just that you're going to need your blank pieces of paper and pencil or color pencils for our activity. But to start, I am someone who really values breath work. And all we're going to do is to center ourselves. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So you can join in or not, totally up to you. So the way it goes, we just inhale through the nose, take a deep breath in, and a small pause. 3, 2, 1. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. And when you're ready again, take a deep breath in through the nose. Pause. 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth. Last one. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And pause. 3, 2, 1. And a long, slow exhale through the mouth. Drop your shoulders. Center yourself. Let go of the day. And just be fully present here in the now. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about what is HiCat, what is creative arts therapy. And so I just wanted to break down the individual components of that title. So holistic is basically about encompassing an individual, be it you or a client, as a total being. We are looking at their emotional, physical, mental, spiritual existence and experiences, looking at the whole mind-body connection. And most importantly, holistically, we're meeting people where they're at, not where we want them to be, but where they show up in their own life. Integrated is all about blending various creative arts modalities into a unified therapeutic approach. So it could be something like mandala making plus journaling plus reflecting equals a result or an outcome. You're integrating a few different practices there together. Creative is basically the creative process which involves tapping into one's imagination and intuition. And this is key because it's not about being an artist, but being open to a creative process. And arts with the plural, so it's with the S, is referring to a diverse range of creative modalities used for therapeutic purposes. So that's where we include both verbal and non-verbal, visual and non-visual arts. So for example, something that is non-visual would be sound therapy, movement, meditation. You don't see an exact result in front of you. It's more an experience. And then obviously you have your visual arts, which is sculpture, painting, drawing, things that you can actually tangibly see and feel in front of you. And therapy is basically a guided process using creative arts modalities, so all of them, to promote healing, self-discovery, and overall well-being, just basically a therapeutic outcome. It's not about us providing therapy for anyone. It's about giving them a platform and a space for them to find and gain what it is that individual needs, be it yourself or your client. And that's in a therapeutic sort of outlook and outcome. All right, this one is about how does creative arts therapy help? So you probably may know this, but I think it's really important to cover. The number one thing is that it reduces stress. So when we are engaged in some type of creativity, I'm sure you all know it, be it sewing, be it nature mandalas, journaling, you're in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you're fully present and you have mindfulness, and mindfulness reduces all of our stress. It will lower anxiety. Again, that having that being present component is we're not thinking about the past and we're not stressing about the future. Again, being in the moment, reducing anxiety. It improves overall mood for a number of reasons. You might be really enjoying what you're doing, so you're now putting feel-good chemicals into the body. You might be really happy with what you've produced, or that you're in a group of people, so it can be a mood booster. And it improves cognitive function because, again, we've turned off the stress response. And when our brain is not loaded with stress, we can actually think better and we make better decisions. So your cognitive function, we could recall memory, which is really important as well. It increases our self-esteem and self-awareness. I love the self-awareness because in the 5 years that I've been doing this just with myself personally, I love that the arts and the creativity is so gentle, but yet facilitates so much self-awareness. And we're going to do a tree activity for the creative arts activity later on. And it's all about just gentle reflections to increase that self-awareness. And when we have self-awareness, well, that's when we can actually potentially start to change things that aren't working for us. We need the awareness to make any changes for healing and whatever else might be there. It can help with social skills, again, if you're doing creativity in a group, and it facilitates and manages intense emotions. The prime example here, I'm going to use clay, and maybe some of you already know about this. So intense emotions, let's pick anger and frustration. Sometimes people are like, they're big emotions, we should shy away from them, all the rest of it. I'm not someone who wants to shy away from that. If there is an intense emotion, whatever it might be, it's there for a reason. Something has happened. The worst thing that we can do is shy away from it or try to shut it down, or that it doesn't exist, because that's just bottling it up inside, and it can just, in the long run, create more problems than necessary. So, for example, we want to create a really nice, safe space and give an activity to help facilitate these intense emotions. Because the more it's out here away from the self, there's a space of freedom that opens up for you to be able to relate to the intense emotions from a slight distance. It might not solve all your problems, but it really gives a huge stepping stone to having a look at what is actually happening and how can I release the intense emotions. So clay work is great because, again, with the right environment and the table and whatnot, you can get the clay and you can squeeze it and you can get all your frustration into it. You can smash it on the table. You can, pound your fist into it because it's in a safe zone, making sure that you don't hurt yourself, but you are facilitating big emotions into something. And it's just much like exercise or a punching bag. Once you've done that, you've exerted your energy and you can step back from it. And I'm a big fan. My saying is more out here, less in here. In a productive, constructive environment will help you to manage big emotions. And then when the next wave of an intense emotion comes up, be it about the same thing, you've got more space and more tools to help you process. And it's all about processing it, dealing with it, managing it. It improves communication. So we know that, and there's a lot of study done about when we're doing something creative, be it painting, drawing, meditation, the reason why it can improve communication is because it enhances the language center of the brain. If you've ever been really stressed out and someone says, "What's wrong?" and you shut down and you're like, your head's going, "Oh my God, where do I start? How do I even put this into words?" That's because your language center is kind of shut down for the moment. But when we go into something that is relaxing and mindful, it's really interesting how language will start to come, or what we have created gives us a talking point. And when we start looking at our emotions and facilitating our big, intense emotions and processing, we can become better communicators overall. It reduces feelings of isolation. So maybe it's just you and your creative art piece that are connecting, or you're doing it in a group again, and therefore you're not so much on your own. It supports emotional resilience. Well, that goes back to what we just said now. If we are managing intense emotions, the next time something happens, we are a little bit more resilient in how we're going to manage or process. And, it's not a winner every time, but it's just a level of support and just another tool at our fingertips. And lastly, it's freeing and fun, which we love and we need, because there's a lot of healing in just having fun. It doesn't have to be hard work and reflective and, intense emotions. Just by having fun, feeling free, and having a good laugh, maybe at yourself or the ridiculousness of what you've created. I mean, who cares? That's very healing as well. So yeah, we can't always take ourselves super seriously. There's a time and place for everything, I feel, right? Okay, excuse me, I just need to have some water. All right, so who does creative arts therapy help? We could just say everybody, right? And just put it out there. However, specifically, it's individuals at any age that are experiencing stress, dealing with stress, haven't switched off the stress response, have been in survival mode for years. And that can be adults, teenagers, kids, and the elderly. So anyone who's experiencing stress, and it can be mild stress to severe stress. Children who struggle with behavioral or social problems. Any of you who are parents know that children who engage in any kind of creativity or art type of stuff can actually have a better result in their overall behavior and how they socialize. Individuals who have experienced a traumatic event, so post-traumatic stress disorder. This one is really important because it can be really confronting to have a look at how we feel because of the event. And we might be living in current time, but our whole internal situation or makeup is still very much in the past. Something happens and we get catapulted into the past of that time that it happened. And creative arts therapy can be really, really gentle and yet super effective at helping people to relieve the intensity of the situation. And one of the things that we've seen, and again, you might be familiar with this or not, but is in mask making. There was a study done, it was over in America, where there was an art therapist who went to work with servicemen who had been to war and all the tragedies that they had seen. And she facilitated a mask making session so that they could put into the mask all the trauma that they saw. And yes, these masks were very gory, very raw, but what was happening with the participants is that they were going home with less nightmares, less reactivity, being more present for their families, because again, they had something, a tool that they could put all of that they experienced into the mask, and someone validated them. We need to validate people and their experiences so that they can heal and move forward. And creative arts therapy is such a beautiful and gentle way to be able to do that. So anyone with a learning disability, usually with children, but it can be anyone, creative arts therapy is a lovely way to engage a learning process. Individuals with brain injury. What I love about the brain, and again, you probably have heard the word neuroplasticity, means that the brain can heal itself in all different wonderful ways. But there's also research showing that we can bypass the injured parts of the brain, particularly with music. And we're all music lovers, I'm sure, but with specific type of music, just with general music, we bypass injured parts of the brain so that we can start to heal, put our lives back together, understand things better, communicate better. It's pretty exciting stuff. I get very excited about this. Anyone experiencing mental health issues, as we have mentioned before, so depression, anxiety, and any other condition, dementia, addiction, cancer, and any condition, because if we have stress, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but if we have stress, we make any condition 10 times worse. And with my naturopathic background, I know, and for any of you who might be suffering from IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, I'm sure you have periods where it's calm, it's good, tummy's good, bowels are good, and then you go through severe stress, and the next day or two, bang, it hits you, and everything just goes out the window. Things are not so good with the tummy, and that's because stress is the thing that will flare up conditions and make them 10 times worse. Who else does it help? Those identifying as neurodivergent. So that's something that's really being validated and acknowledged. And people who have ADHD, dyslexia, autism, and anywhere on that spectrum, again, mild to severe, can be classified as neurodivergent. And basically, it just means that their brain is processing things slightly differently. When something happens, they might have a few more steps, or they just have a totally different way of thinking about some things. But neurodivergent doesn't mean that there's an issue. I've been diagnosed as an adult with ADHD, which made my whole life make sense for me. And so these people that are classified like that can be really amazing with everything that they do. So neurotypical individuals, it can also help them if they need to process something, understand something. Again, their brain just works differently. So I've outlined all the people that it can help. Okay, this one. I love this one. So take note of this. The stress response, also known as fight or flight. So I'm sure you've all heard this in your life somewhere. Fight, meaning that you're going to stay and be combative and fight the situation, be it physically or verbally, or being confrontational. Or flight, you're getting out of there. You're walking away, you're running away, you're bailing, you don't want to know about any of it, and you're getting out. And here's a quote. No healing can take place for any person on any level while they are in the fight or flight response. I just really want that to sink in, because if you are in a situation where you'd like more healing, or you know that there's something going on for you, and I understand we've got lives and we've got lots of stress that goes on. However, it's really important that even 3 minutes a day, even if it's just in your breath work that you started with that, in order to be able to heal, we have to turn off the stress response. The greater the issue, the more the relaxation response needs to be engaged. All right, so I've got a 4-minute video here. I do believe I'm going to have to share my screen just slightly differently. I apologize. I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm going to share it again with sound.
Are you sleeping restlessly, feeling irritable or moody, forgetting little things, and feeling overwhelmed and isolated? Don't worry, we've all been there. You're probably just stressed out. Stress isn't always a bad thing. It can be handy for a burst of extra energy and focus, like when you're playing a competitive sport or have to speak in public. But when it's continuous, the kind most of us face day in and day out, it actually begins to change your brain. Chronic stress, like being overworked or having arguments at home, can affect brain size, its structure, and how it functions, right down to the level of your genes. Stress begins with something called the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal axis, a series of interactions between endocrine glands in the brain and on the kidney, which controls your body's reaction to stress. When your brain detects a stressful situation, your HPA axis is instantly activated and releases a hormone called cortisol, which primes your body for instant action. But high levels of cortisol over long periods of time wreak havoc on your brain. For example, chronic stress increases the activity level and number of neural connections in the amygdala, your brain's fear center. And as levels of cortisol rise, electric signals in your hippocampus, the part of the brain associated with learning, memories, and stress control, deteriorate. The hippocampus also inhibits the activity of the HPA axis, so when it weakens, so does your ability to control your stress. That's not all, though. Cortisol can literally cause your brain to shrink in size. Too much of it results in the loss of synaptic connections between neurons and the shrinking of your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that regulates behaviors like concentration, decision-making, judgment, and social interaction. It also leads to fewer new brain cells being made in the hippocampus. This means chronic stress might make it harder for you to learn and remember things, and also set the stage for more serious mental problems like depression and eventually Alzheimer's disease. The effects of stress may filter right down to your brain's DNA. An experiment showed that the amount of nurturing a mother rat provides its newborn baby plays a part in determining how that baby responds to stress later in life. The pups of nurturing moms turned out less sensitive to stress because their brains developed more cortisol receptors, which stick to cortisol and dampen the stress response. The pups of negligent moms had the opposite outcome, and so became more sensitive to stress throughout life. These are considered epigenetic changes, meaning that they affect which genes are expressed without directly changing the genetic code. And these changes can be reversed if the moms are swapped. But there's a surprising result. The epigenetic changes caused by one single mother rat were passed down to many generations of rats after her. In other words, the results of these actions were inheritable. It's not all bad news, though. There are many ways to reverse what cortisol does to your stressed brain. The most powerful weapons are exercise and meditation, which involves breathing deeply and being aware and focused on your surroundings. Both of these activities decrease your stress and increase the size of the hippocampus, thereby improving your memory. So don't feel defeated by the pressures of daily life. Get in control of your stress before it takes control of you.
So in that video, it showed us what stress does to the brain, and the word cortisol was used. So when we are in a high and constant state of stress, cortisol production is what the body will make. And cortisol is a healthy response to the stress. The issue is that when we have constant stress and constant cortisol, too much of cortisol creates inflammation in the body. So over time, this high amount of cortisol creates inflammation. Now, think about any health conditions that are already based on inflammation. The cortisol will fuel the inflammatory pathway, make the condition worse. Over time, if we have too much cortisol and too much inflammation, it actually starts to make a greater level of acidity within the blood. It will change the pH ever so slightly, but leaning towards more acidic. And people who have more acidity, then we have conditions like gout, for example. But even worse than that, put all that together, you have a perfect breeding ground to manifest all sorts of disease. Put in that certain belief systems that don't serve you, emotional distress, poor eating habits. You can see that over time, what can potentially happen to people or a particular client, even if you're seeing someone. And this is why it's really important that we turn off that stress response. So the next thing is having a look at the relaxation response and exercise for yourself. So with this next little activity, it's only 3 minutes, but I would like you to engage if you feel comfortable. It is guided, and it's all about putting you in a relaxation response. So let's get into that. Get nice and comfortable. And, oh, is it going to come up? Oh. Okay. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Welcome to the full body relaxation exercise. Before we begin, Please be aware that this exercise involves tightening and releasing muscles. If you have any muscle soreness or injuries, please refrain from tensing those specific muscles. It's important to listen to your body and proceed with caution. Let's begin. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of any tension or stress you may be holding onto. Let's start by focusing on each muscle group, one by one. Begin by tightening your toes and feet, scrunching them as tightly as you can. Hold the tension for a few seconds, and then release, allowing your toes and feet to relax completely. Now, bring your attention to your calves and lower legs. Flex your muscles, feeling the tension build up. Hold it for a moment, and then release, allowing your calves and lower legs to soften and relax. Moving up to your thighs and glutes, tighten these muscles by squeezing them together. Feel the tension in your thighs and buttocks. And now release, letting go of any tightness, allowing your thighs and glutes to relax completely. Focus on your abdomen and core area. Tighten these muscles by pulling your belly button towards your spine. Feel the tension building up, and now release, allowing your abdomen and core to soften and relax. Bring your attention to your chest and back. Take a deep breath in, expanding your chest, feeling the muscles engage. Hold it for a moment, and then exhale, releasing the tension, allowing your chest and back to relax completely. Move up to your shoulders. Lift them up towards your ears, feeling the tension in your shoulder muscles. Hold it for a moment, and then let your shoulders drop, releasing the tension, allowing them to relax and sink down. Now, focus on your arms and hands. Clench your fists tightly, feeling the tension in your arms and hands. Hold it for a moment, and then release, letting your arms and hands go limp, feeling the relaxation spreading through your entire upper body. Finally, bring your attention to your neck and face. Gently tilt your head back, feeling the muscles in your neck stretching and tensing. And now release, allowing your neck and face to relax completely. Take a moment to scan your body and notice the overall sense of relaxation. Feel the warmth and ease flowing through every muscle, bringing a deep sense of relaxation and calmness. As you slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, open your eyes. Remember, you can return to this exercise anytime you need to release tension and promote relaxation throughout your body. Enjoy the benefits of a fully relaxed and rejuvenated state.
So what are the benefits of the relaxation response? Well, it's going to reduce symptoms of stress, increase the ability to be spontaneous, reduce cortisol, which therefore will reduce inflammation. It decreases blood pressure and risk of disease. Well, it makes healing possible. Remember what we said earlier, that no healing can take place while the fight and flight response is switched on. It improves digestion. So another thing with the relaxation response is rest and digest. For all my stress eaters out there, I completely get it. You're looking for comfort. And when we do eating through stress, we're trying to get dopamine, hits of dopamine to make ourselves feel better because stress is really awful. But your digestion is not switched on while you are stressed out. So you can give yourself more digestive issues because you're eating to try and feel better. It's a bit of a vicious circle. So your overall digestion will improve when you relax. Relaxation fosters better coping skills. I'm sure we've all made a decision when we're stressed out and then looked back and gone, oh, maybe that wasn't the best decision at the time. That's why we should make big life-changing decisions when we are more relaxed. You have an expansion of attention. You can see things on a wider spectrum. A sense of transcendence. I'm sure all of you have done some type of meditation and transcended the personal or the current time and space and gone somewhere else and just had maybe a euphoric experience. It builds happiness. It provides inner peace. It reduces muscle tension and chronic pain. Again, people have reported numerous of studies that through any kind of relaxation, particularly with meditation and breath work, it reduces chronic pain and that muscle tension. The exercise that we did, it's really good to go through the body, scan the body, tense the body where it's appropriate, and then release that tension. Relaxation improves sleep and promotes greater well-being. So how does creative arts therapy promote relaxation? Well, when you're doing something creative, it's a form of self-care. And again, it could be gardening. Gardening can be creative because you're actually planting something that's going to grow. And then it's all of the arts, painting and drawing, all of that. It puts you in a state of flow. Again, that mindfulness, Zen space. It will reduce your cortisol, so it will give you relaxation. And it takes your mind off of things. Because again, you're being in the present time and you're engaging with something that's helping you to focus somewhere else. And it supports self-compassion. So we've got a lot of activities that actually help to foster self-compassion. We can all be a little bit hard on ourselves from time to time. And it also helps with insight and reflection. So when we're relaxed, we gain those insights and those wonderful reflections. And I'm also a big believer that when we are relaxed, depending on your belief system, but we can really feel that divine essence coming through and giving us our wisdom and providing access to intuition that can't always be there when we're stressed out, because it will switch off that connection for us. All right, we've got activity time. So get your first blank piece of paper, excuse me, blank piece of paper. And if you've got color pencils, great. If not, just with a pencil is going to be fine. Here is the activity. So it's called Draw Yourself as a Tree. So just let that sink in for a minute. Visualize yourself as a tree. Are you a tall tree? Are you a wide tree? Are you a short tree? And here's the description. So when you are creating your tree, you might be starting with the roots. And as you draw your tree, what I would like you to write, you can actually write it in there in the roots section, all the things that provide you with strength and illustrate your good qualities. So for example, your good qualities could be that you're resilient, that you're funny, that you're humorous, that you're reliable, that you're a great mum, you're a great friend, you are non-judgmental, you're easygoing, you are someone who can really be very organized. So think about the things that give you your strength and all of your good qualities. And that will be listed in your roots. And then as you move up your tree and you're doing your leaves, and again, you can depict that any which way you like, but I would like you to think about some of the things that you would like to attract in 2024. So even though we're, well into the year and it's March, but there's still a whole lot of months left. So anything that you would like to attract. So for example, here's my wonderful little tree. I hope that there are no black lines across the screen. Excuse me. So in my roots, I've got authentic, flexible, resilient, leadership, motivated, sensitive, good listener, attention to detail. If you sit here, we're only going to do like 7 minutes of this activity, but you can continue doing this after the session is over. You could just go on and on, really, if you can think of all those things. And then up in the leaves, it's all the things that I wanted to attract and love, and new carpet for the upstairs area of my house, and a holiday, and weekend getaways, and a puppy. And you wouldn't believe it, my puppy's at my feet right now. He's a little cavoodle and he's almost 4 months old. So I did this a few months ago and I've got the puppy. So same for you. Put what you'd like to attract in the top part of your tree as your leaves. So I'm going to leave you now for 7 minutes. This is just a sampler, and see how you go. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat and we will help you. For anyone who has internet instability, we will be sending this entire video out to everyone. It will be available for 2 weeks.
Is it possible to get the instructions back up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Unrestrainable nature, we can change it from the edges, we can challenge all our borders. There is always a new leader, there is always a new order. Our pathway is proceeding and the way is always changing. We are free from what prevents us to realize our destination. Oh, 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 oh. trust the intuition of the lives I've lived before this. Our essential form of gnosis, it's a simple form of freedom. It's as smooth as inhalation. Oh, the exhale is releasing all the tension I've been feeling on the surface and beneath me. I'm connecting to my spirit, and I'm here now right before you. I am present in this moment, and my life's work is to honor the great beauty all around you. Free from all old stories I've been told, I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Free from all old stories I've been told, I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Creating concrete visions of a macrocosmic prism with a brilliant optimism and appropriate ambition to be open from the center.
Okay, so I do understand that you're probably still going. However, I'm going to move on to our next activity, which is still part of this. So as you're continuing to finish your tree, the next thing I'd like you to do is on another blank piece of paper is to pick one leaf if you did manage to get there. If you didn't manage to get there and you were still down on the description of your good qualities and whatnot, just think about for the activity, what is something that you would love to manifest in 2024 and use that for this activity. If you do have a few things written in your leaf section, then just pick one you'd like to work on. Now, remembering this activity is in your Masterclass workbook, so you can have you can do this at a later time with more detail and at your own pace. So with this one, you're going to look at the leaves in the tree and pick one leaf or goal from your drawing, and you're going to draw it on a new page. And when I say draw it on a new page, it can literally be a tribute to that one thing. You can depict it in actuality and put all the details in. You can do it with inspiration and creativity, and you can use shapes and symbols, swirls and colors. However it is that you want it to look and feel, there's no right or wrong. So here is an example, and this one is back in my leaf. I had mini holidays and weekends away. So with this one, there's me sitting on my beach towel. I can now redo this one and include my puppy because I've got the puppy. But I'm, basically at the beach, sun is shining, and I'm just having a chill out weekend. So pick one thing from your tree in the leaves, and I'm going to give you another 7 minutes to create some kind of tribute to that one thing. Okay, so I'm going to move on to some reflective questions, and I'm just going to go through them. Again, this is in your workbook, so you can take some time to reflect on this after the session has finished. But was it easy or difficult to think of your strengths and good qualities? That's a really important one to sit down with, because if you did find difficulties, what was the blockages? What were the challenges that you were facing? And, journal it down. And if you found it easy, great, journal down why you found it easy. Like you just had so much coming to you, whatever it is, you just pop it down. Did you have many new things listed in the leaves or only a few? And again, no right or wrong. If there's only 3 things that you want to manifest for the rest of the year, great, not a problem. If there's 203 new things, not a problem. It is what it is. Would you like to add anything now or change anything now? Meaning when you go back and look at your first tree, and again, you could do this when you've got more time, looking at what you would like to add or maybe change. Again, in creativity, it doesn't have to be set in stone. You're allowed to change things, take it out, add things as you go along. The next reflective question is, what feelings or thoughts came up during the drawing of the tree, if any? So again, just sitting and reflecting to see how you felt. And when you look at your tree, what comes up for you? Is it inspiration? Is it how much you've grown? Is it how much you'd like to achieve? Is it overwhelm? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it I'm not where I want to be? And all of those things and any of those things that might be there for you is perfectly fine. Give it space, validate it, and just put it in your journal. So we're going to have a look at the benefits of journaling. Well, it gives yourself self-expression. It's excellent for reflection and insights. Again, I'm a big one on more out there, bees less in here. So when I'm journaling stuff and it's on the page and I'm just in the zone and I reread it, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that's what I was actually thinking or feeling, or the perspective that's come through because of the journaling. It allows us to even potentially tap into our subconscious, to find wisdom, insights, truth. It's very, very good activity to do. The benefits of journaling is that you get to have an emotional release. Sometimes we don't have anywhere to put our emotions but in our journal. It's very useful for goal setting and tracking your progress. I know that I have read my journals and gone, wow, look where I am today, considering what I wrote 5 months ago, or that I've manifested something that I was really wanting from 12 months ago. Or sometimes I read it and I go, wow, I'm not really where I thought I was going to be. And that's okay. Everything is just meant to be how it's going. It helps to reduce stress because you're getting it out of you. I don't know about you, but I've had some pretty spicy journals where I've really gone full swing with expression about how I felt about something. There's lots of swear words and there's just lots of getting it out. But again, it's a healthy way of venting it out without hurting anyone, without hurting myself, and it reduces stress. Processing complicated thoughts and emotions. This is a really, really important one, because if we are overthinking and we've got those ruminating thoughts going around and around and around, putting it pen to paper can really help put everything in perspective. It increases mindfulness because you're in the present moment, and it's very self-empowering. So for those of you who know all about journaling and do the journaling, I know what you're feeling. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading a message. Journaling has one eye. Sorry, I'm an English teacher. Thank you. I shall rectify that. That's great. All right. So again, let us all be present. And that's fine if you want to continue what you're doing, but we're going to take 3 deep breaths. So we're just going to inhale through the nose. And we're going to pause. 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth. Drop the shoulders. And again, mindful breathing, breathe it in through the nose. And pause. 3, 2, 1. Long, slow exhale. And the last one, breathe it in. Pause. 3, 2, 1. Long, slow exhale. All right, so we're going to talk about the Holistic Integrated Creative Arts Therapy course. If you are interested in this, please stick around. This is where I'm going to give you the information about what the course covers and what's in it, and the offer that I have for you. So with the course, the practical topics that we will cover is art therapy, your paints, your watercolors, charcoals, oil pastels. You've got your tactile therapy. So we work with sculpture, clay, sand. That we've got one whole module dedicated to sand play therapy and environmental art making. So you're making art or nature mandalas from everything you find in the environment. We have sound and vibration, music, tribal rhythms, the medicine drum, sound therapy, dance and movement therapy, role play, storytelling, creative writing, and drama therapy. Now, the topics that we cover, so the way that the structure goes is that all the theory will be at the beginning of the module, and then all of the practical will be in the second part of the module. And that's generally designed so if you are doing something in the morning, you would be covering and reading all of the theory when the brain is probably a little bit more switched on. And then in the afternoon, where we don't really want to use our brain too much, we want to just use our creativity, we'll do all the practical stuff. Excuse me. So I won't read out this whole thing, but we've got everything from, again, all of the cause and effects of stress. It's a big foundational part in the course. The physiology of the brain and how the brain works. We've got exploring emotions, creative arts as emotional healing, art and developing intuition. That's a big favorite from so many students, drawing from within. Art appreciation, interpretation and diagnosis, compassion and non-judgment. And then we've got the big topics, working with PTSD, anxiety disorders, grief, loss, children, and depression, and working in medical settings. Developing community arts projects. We've got gratitude and art journaling. I got that one right, only one L there. That's another favorite one. We've got holistic counseling. So throughout the whole course, there is bits and pieces of holistic counseling, but we've got 2 modules dedicated entirely to holistic counseling, because the nature of the work is obviously going to bring stuff up for people. But don't worry, you don't need to rescue anyone. You don't need to fix anyone. All you need to do is hold space and help someone with reflective questions or prompting questions. And we will teach you that in the course, so that should something come up, all you really need to do is help facilitate them to their own answers and insights and truths. And in the last part of the course, we do actually help with business setup. So because it is a practitioner level of training, if you do want to then go out and create a small business for yourself, we have 5 modules dedicated to helping you setting up your own practice, where you can run creative arts therapy workshops, sound healing evenings, retreats, working one-on-one with people, again, depending on if you've got any other qualifications, but you don't actually need any qualifications to do the course, because we will give you everything that you need. So we will help you with business setup, all your legalities, getting insurance, your marketing for creative arts therapists. So there's quite a lot there. So you'll learn how to use arts in a therapeutic way, use holistic counseling skills with self and others. You'll learn how to manage your emotional triggers and responses. So if you do the work, then you'll be a much better facilitator for someone else. You'll learn how to activate the relaxation response anywhere, anytime. That's a big one. You'll learn how to release big emotions in a healthy way, connect deeply to your intuition and spirituality, be fully self-expressed without judgment, let go of limiting beliefs and create new empowering beliefs. So there's a running theme throughout the course where we help to identify your limiting beliefs. And that's what actually provides the biggest breakthrough with the majority of the students, is identifying the limits and then breaking through and then creating new ones that they actually stick to. You will learn how to work with different groups of people, everything from children, teenagers to the elderly, and how to set up your own small business as a HiCat practitioner. So is the course accredited? We get a lot of people asking that, and the short answer is yes. And it is the IICT, International Institute of Complementary Therapists. They do accredit our course. So once you are a graduate, you can then get professional membership and insurances through them. So I'd just like to show you Lisa. Lisa is a graduate who's gone on to do her own business.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I am from Seven Breaths Meditation and Art Therapy here on the Gold Coast. I am a former HiCat graduate. I graduated in 2021 and I have been doing my business for a couple of years now. I run creativity workshops, connecting people back with their creativity. I also run other workshops for people that want to do a little bit more of a deeper dive into their well-being, and I also do one-on-one art therapy, which is a little bit more tailored to what the client needs. When I first enrolled in HiCat, I was doing it to help my daughter. My daughter suffered from anxiety, and I knew that art helped her, and I kind of just wanted to know a little bit more about it. I knew there was something magic in that. So I went along and I enrolled, and it absolutely exploded into my world. I didn't think I was creative. I thought I couldn't paint. I thought I couldn't draw. But doing this course made me realize that we are all creative. And that's exactly what I teach people today. I was in a job that wasn't satisfying. I was in the corporate sector for many years, and I knew I wanted to be of service. I knew I had love to give in my heart. I just didn't know how to do that. And by doing this course, it allowed me the tools to actually express what I needed to express with people. So I highly recommend this course. It has absolutely changed my life, and I am better for it. Having a holistic business, you grow with it, and that's what I find. That's what's happened to me. I have grown and I've flourished, and it's a journey that I am so, so deeply grateful for.
Thank you, Lisa. And this is Lorena. I'm just going to show you Lorena. She has dabbled with it on a business side, but she did it mostly for personal development.
Hi, my name is Lorena Chapara from Create Your Health here on the Gold Coast. I completed Sanya's HiCat course December last year. What a journey it has taken me on, not only through the actual doing the course itself. There were so many moments, so many breakdowns and breakthroughs. It is a journey of self-discovery. And even if you never do anything with it professionally, for your own self-development, for your own self-growth, I cannot recommend it highly enough. My life has changed on so many levels. I am confident I'm doing things I never thought I would be doing. This last 12 months, I've been holding my own workshops on group, one-on-ones. I'm working out which areas I want to sort of specialize in, I suppose. And for someone who was always an academic and not a creative bone in her body, the need now to do art, because some people think, oh, but I'm not artistic, I can't do this. Let me tell you, it's not about the art. I now have a great time working on my art journals. Some of the girls that I met through the course were very artistic already, and they've taught me a lot, and we catch up and have wonderful times. And for me, when I have an issue now, I have the tools through Sanya's course as to how to deal with my problems using my art journal. Okay, and it's something that everybody needs to have. I wish I'd had this 30 years ago. Wow, where would I have been today? So honestly, do yourself a favor, sign up, do the course. You will never regret it. It is the best thing, the best investment you will ever make in yourself. All the best. Take care. Ciao.
Thank you, Lorena. Okay. So I want to come to the section where we're going to look at the pricing and what study options that you have. So with the online study option, so this is going to be for 72 hours to take this deal. Jenny, if you could in the chat when you're ready, upload the enrollment link for online study. So if you are interested, I suggest to click on the link and allow your device to bring up the enrollment form because it's only going to be added in this particular section. If you do lose it, and over the next 72 hours, 3 days while you're thinking about it, and you lose it, you're just going to have to email me, and I'm going to put that directly into the chat. Thank you, Jenny. Just one moment. Jenny, could you, I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty on my end. Could you put in the chat info at collegeofconsciousliving.com? That is the email. Okay, so the total value of what I'm offering here is $3,610, but the special offer is going to be for $1,997. And what's that going to include? Obviously, the HiCat course, which normally is a 12-month study time frame, but with the special, you get 24 months in a study time total. There's obviously the private Facebook community, and we do monthly Zoom meetings in real time so that you can come together, share your studies and ask any questions. And I do facilitate that on a monthly basis, and Jenny is the assessor. What you will also get is your 3 monthly masterclasses, 3 online creative workshops, 1 abundance workshop, and 1 inner child workshop. And if you sign up, you also get the ebook, which is your 7 chakras, a guide to your energy centers and how to use them. So with this one, again, it's the special for $1,997. So here's how you can make the payment. You can pay it in full, or you can do a split payment where you'll have to pay half on enrollment, which is in the next 72 hours. And then the next installment is due on the 1st of May. So you've got a couple of months to then make the second payment. And that is outlined on the enrollment form. Okay, so now we have still the HiCat course, but it's in face-to-face study. So face-to-face, if you are in Brisbane, we've got Sunshine Coast Yandina, we have Brisbane Paddington, and we have the Gold Coast Ormo. So they're the 3 locations where you can study the HiCat course. With this value, because it is face-to-face and it is myself who is showing up in Brisbane and Ormo, and we have specialised teachers for Yandina, so the pricing is slightly different. However, you will still get all of the bonuses. You will still get the private Facebook community and obviously the entire HiCat course and the ebook. So the total value there is $4,609, and the 72-hour special offer is $2,899 inclusive of GST. And your payment options is that you can pay it in full, $2,899 on the enrollment form, or you can do a monthly payment. So it will still turn out to be $2,899, but you can do a $500 deposit, which is within the next 72 hours to secure your spot. And then you will have 5 monthly payments of $479.80, which will be due on the 1st of each month of August, September, October, November, and December. And the class for face-to-face is starting July and finishing in December. So I do understand that that is a lot of information. And if you are still here and you're wanting to know some more information about the course, then this is our Q&A time. So I'm just going to quickly check. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to come back to everybody. So this is your time now. If you would like to ask a question, I'm going to open up. Oh, where's the chat? All right. Where were the locations? We've got Sunshine Coast Yandina, Brisbane Paddington, and Gold Coast Ormo. Online, you can be literally anywhere in Australia and even overseas. I have seen HiCat with another school. Yes. So I have to remember now. I know her first name, Julianne, Soulful Mind College. She also offers the HiCat course online as well as face-to-face, but over in Victoria. It is the same training, but it will be through Julianne, and it's the Soulful Mind College. So the way that it works is that we're licensed colleges because the content that we're using has been created by Mind Body Education, Isabel Cunningham. So we license the intellectual property to be able to offer it to our students. So that's why there's Julianne offering it and myself. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you. Is online class self-paced? Yes. So within your 24 months time frame, you can study however you like. Your study platform is available to you 24/7. So you can log on at any time. You can do 2 modules in 1 month and then not do anything for a month or 2. We do overall suggest that you are submitting a module every 2 weeks to a month. However, as long as you get everything done within 24 months, you can study at your own pace and how you like. Yes, it can be completed faster if you are studying online and you get through it in 6 months, 5 months, 8 months. Absolutely. There are no restrictions. When you sign on, you will have all 20 modules available to you on the study platform. And all that we ask is that you work through your modules sequentially. It makes more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But having said that, sometimes if you have to skip a module because you can't finish it for some reason, you move on and you come back to it. Thank you. Is there any particular therapy for neurody? I do apologize. I don't know what that is. Can you finish the course online earlier? Yes, you can. What happened if you need to go for a couple of months out of the country? How you complete the course, or what would be the options? Okay, so if you want to put your course on hold because of personal reasons, what will happen is you actually have 6 months worth of study deferral or pause, and basically we will just pause your study and then you can resume when you come back. What date in July? That's a very good question, but I do believe July 22nd is the week that all locations are starting. So we've got Brisbane on a Tuesday, which would be maybe the 23rd of July. Wednesday is Sunshine Coast, Yandina. And then that Friday will be Brisbane Ormo. So late July, but we're finishing December 11th. So just as the school holidays happen and just before Christmas. Who wrote the course material? Again, so Mind Body Education is the course content creator, specifically the lady, Isabel Cunningham. And on all of the modules down the bottom, it will show Mind Body Education. Isabel Cunningham is the course creator. Are there any assessments after the course? After the course, no. During the course, yes. So both online and face-to-face, you will have the module, and then as part of your assessment online, you'll have all the assessments there that you just upload to the study platform when you're done, and that gets sent through to Jenny for her to assess you as competent. Face-to-face, you have homework. We will be 5 hours together in a classroom from 9 till 2:30, and then you will have homework between the weeks to do all of the assessments. The assessments are things like writing an essay, but from a personal perspective. You don't need to be university level. There's no referencing anything. It's creative arts therapy. You're working on yourself. So it's personal reflections, watching YouTube videos, doing a certain activity. So you just need to complete that. Studying in person is 6 months and online is over 12 months. Yeah. So normally the online is 12 months. We give that additional flexibility, but as part of this special, you're going to get 24 months. I can't give extended time in the face-to-face because it's a structured weekly program that we show up for. How are we assessed? you are assessed basically on your competency. So there's no right or wrong. It's just if we can see that you're understanding the curriculum and each module and your reflections are relevant to what you have been doing, it's all competency based. Online, there is percentages and 75% and more is a pass mark. No one has ever gotten, I think maybe one student has got under 75%. They just weren't clear about what needed to be done and we helped them out. So it's basically competency. How many hours per week would you say it would be? Okay, so with working on that online 12 months, generally it's about 7.5 hours a week to 15 hours a fortnight for one module, because you get the extended version, right? Face to face, because it's week to week, you've got about your 7.5 hours, 5 to 7.5 hours worth of homework, because you've done the 5 hours in class. What makes HiCat unique compared to other art therapy courses? Thank you. And has there been case studies done for clients with disabilities? Okay, great question. So to be very honest with you, I don't really know what other courses are offering, so I can't potentially compare it. I just know that the feedback I've gotten from students who have dabbled somewhere else and weren't happy and come over to HiCat, the majority have said it's the practical hands-on component that differentiates the other courses that they have done. So we have practical hands-on activities in every single module to help you really integrate the information and how to use creativity as a therapeutic tool. Have we done case studies on clients with disabilities? No, we have not. What is the shortest timeline someone has graduated successfully? Off the top of my head, I believe it was 8 months online. For online study, 8 months. Face-to-face, pretty much everybody gets it done within the 6 months. There is a grace period of 30 to 60 days to make sure that you get everything submitted. So 8 months is 6 months to 8 months. Is there any particular therapy for neurodivergent? No, we don't actually single out neurodivergent people. Everybody is welcome to do this course. I've had many people who identify as neurodivergent in the course, and all of the activities have been fine. So there's nothing specific that we offer. Is the face-to-face classes, all of the materials are provided and included in the cost? No, and the reason is because everyone's got different materials already. So for example, we give an estimated $200 if you are starting from absolute scratch. If you have no art journal, no pencils, no paints or whatever it is, and you had to go get absolutely everything, I still don't think it would cost you $200, but the course is one lot of payment, and then we give you a materials list and you go and buy whatever it is that you need, and you are more than welcome to use the stuff you've already got. Is there any flexibility in timing as I'm working? Well, it depends. If you're online, there's massive flexibility. The study portal is open to you 24/7. If you are wanting to study face-to-face, we are structured. The flexibility is limited. You do need to show up to class, and you can only miss 4 in-person classes and it not affect your accreditation. My 2 passions, mental health and being creative, I have to do online as I'm in Perth. Okay, what if you can't make the lives due to work? The lives are not compulsory. It's merely just an offering for, because online learning can be quite solo. So, yeah, and I do record them and then I upload them to the private Facebook group that you can watch at any time. So it's not compulsory. If you miss it, not a problem. Could you post the fee for the online course again? Yes, I can. 1 second. Basically, the online course total cost would be $1,997. You can pay it upfront or a split fee, $998.50, and then the second $998.50 2 months later. Is the course with the international certification? Yeah, absolutely. So you're accredited in Australia and in 29 other countries outside of Australia, inclusive, off the top of my head, New Zealand, Canada, America, England, Germany, Switzerland, Italy. The list goes on, but they're the ones that I can remember. So if you did relocate, for example, the accreditation goes with you because the IICT validates the course and accredits the course in any of those 29 countries. I attended and graduated at the end of last year at the Andina campus. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, Marjorie, hello. Yes, you did say you would be here. Marge, hi, lovely. And absolutely loved every minute of doing the course. Oh, thank you. So yes, you were wonderful and so keen to get started. And that was great. It's so lovely to have you here. How do we do practical topics if it's online? Yeah, no problem. You read the instructions, much like what we did tonight. You do it in your art journal. You take a photo and you upload it as a JPEG file. Or maybe it's a Word document, it's an essay, and you just write it in your Word document, you save it, and you upload it to the study platform. Are there any chances that the discounted price would be offered again in the future? Look, it's a possibility, but I'm working with a team of advertising people, so we are doing it month to month for the moment. Do we have access to Facebook group now? Unless you sign up, you don't have access. You have to sign up and be part of the community to get the access. May I ask what times the face-to-face course is offered? So in all three locations, face-to-face starts at 9 a.m. and finishes at 2:30. You get a tea break and a lunch break, and the rest of it is the theory reading and the practical components. There is nothing done in the evening. There will be homework to be done between classes. Thank you so much for the masterclass. It turns out that I too have done this course. Vicky from Melbourne, fantastic. And that's all the questions. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. If you do have any more questions, please feel free. We've gone 8 minutes over time, so I don't want to keep you any longer. But again, if you do need to get in contact, just go over to the website, which is collegeofconsciousliving.com. And if you do need to email me with any requests, just get in touch via email and we can talk through things, whatever it is that you need to discuss over there. With online study, do I have to do music or all the other in the list? So whatever is in the module is what you have to complete. If you don't complete it, you're not deemed competent, and you need to be competent to get your accreditation. And Renee, hello, beautiful Renee. Thank you so much for being here. That was great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Sorry, one more last question. What's the address in the Gold Coast? Ormo Community Centre, which is 3 Cuthbert Drive, Ormo. Thank you so much. Thank you. My pleasure. So there will be a recording of this sent out to everybody. And once again, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for your time. And if you would like to ask any more questions or get the enrollment links again, please email me info@College of Conscious Living or head over to the website collegeofconsciousliving.com. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Perfect. I'm going to end it here. Go have a wonderful evening, and I hope to connect with you all again soon.